Okay then, so good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, October 21st, 2019. The time is 10:03 a.m. This is a special meeting, and it's referred to as a vicious dog hearing. I am calling this meeting to order. Attending are Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda? I don't.
Speak up a little bit.
Okay. Do we have any changes to our agenda?
No.
We do not, okay. Since this is a quasi-judicial hearing, anyone who chooses to testify must be sworn in. So our clerk Tina will now proceed to swear you in. If you-
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give in the issue pending before the Kootenai County Board of Commissioners shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay then, so what we'll do is we'll move to the first item, and this is the only item on our agenda this morning, which is a hearing for impounded animals set for destruction, which, if I'm not mistaken, is scheduled unless otherwise determined for tomorrow, which is the 22nd. Is that correct? Okay. So before we go any further, Mr. Duraki, did I say your name correctly?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed. Why, tell us your side of the
Okay.
story, if you would.
Since Commissioner Chairman Chris Filios declined comment, I would like to know why. Let me tell you the bigger story here. It was because of my last lawsuit with the city for beating me up, a disabled vet and a disabled person, recognized by the state of Idaho as such, dragging me across the street with my hands cuffed behind my back and my naked rear butt in front of 50 people 2 years ago, Labor Day weekend, 4th of July, Labor Day, 4th in Sherman. Then throw me in the back of a patrol car, taking me to jail. On my last arrest, 3 sheriff deputies threatened me if I would move. After they uncuffed me, they would taser me. Then, in the back of the patrol car and take me to jail. 3, and denying me constitutional and human rights. Hold me in a cell, bleeding, with no antiseptic, a hole in the ground, and no toilet paper, and no sanitation. Only a hole in the floor. Denying me the right to bail out and medical treatment. And my prescriptions drugs, which I need for my artificial heart valve. I would like to know why. Okay, now, let's get down to the dog story. The reason my dog got out is because the elk are coming in and deer are coming into my yard and breaking my fences.
Okay.
That's the reason the dog is getting out. I don't want the dog to get out. I don't want the dog to kill cats and injure people. The night he got out, he was laying on my deck. My yard is fenced. Right there, and I left the gate open for my wife, because she's disabled too. Okay? So a bolt of lightning strikes, thunderclaps, Ranger's gone. He went to this neighbor's house. I don't know if she was taking the cat in, or the cat was inside, busted through. I don't blame her. She got between the dog and the cat, got bit, okay? Ranger didn't have his current rabies shots. So Miss Osborne came to the house, and my dog, we had to go through the front door. He come out and jumped up on her and started kissing her and licking her. He is a very, very loyal dog. He loves people, children, my grandchildren, I have 62 of them. And he loves his little sister, Duchess. I just got her 6 months ago. I am going to breed her in 2 years to give disabled vets at New Beginnings dogs. So I give back. So Ranger is not a service dog. He's my emotional support dog. I can have my psychiatrist or whatever, therapist or whatever you call them, attest to that. So I'm here. I want my dog back. My dog is my property. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights tell me I have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness is living and sleeping and hunting with my dog. If you want to deny those rights, go ahead. You'll have a bigger lawsuit, and I will die defending my dog. The bill and the constant, the declaration, or the what's it? I pledge of allegiance.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Life, or justice and liberty for all. Does that include me? And I'd like to put you in a cage. Put you in a cage. How would you like to be in a cage?
Sir,
How would you like to
Sir.
be? Yes.
calm down, please.
Okay, I will. I'd like to put
Proceed.
you in a cage.
We're listening
I'd
to
like
you.
to
You're
put
getting
you in a
ridiculous.
cage. I'm calming down. I'd like to put you in a cage, like the requirements say. See, how would you like that? How would you like to be in a cage, Mr. Filios?
Go right ahead, sir. Keep going.
Okay, I'm done.
Good.
And oh, one other thing. I would like to praise this woman here. She has done above and beyond the call of duty and helping me first with my mules. When one got a nail in its foot, some busybody neighbor called up. She came over. The mule was being doctored, had bandage on it, and she had said I had to clean out a barn, it had too much manure in it. Within 2 days it was cleaned out. She couldn't believe I did it so fast. And now she's helping me with my dog Ranger to keep him from getting executed. So, I'm done.
Okay. Before I open up for questions from the board, I'm going to answer your question of me. Why did I not render an opinion? Because I'm sitting as a judge, and I can't afford to have my opinion biased and be
Oh,
forced to
okay.
recuse. That's
That
what-
makes sense.
Right.
Makes
And
sense.
So that's the answer to
Makes
your
sense,
question.
makes total sense.
Okay. So any questions for Mr. Duraki?
How many dogs do you have?
I have Ranger and I have Duchess. She's 6 months old. She's a German Shorthair Pointer too.
Okay.
And I'll be raising, they sleep with me. They're great companions, they're great hunters. And I'll be raising, and Miss Osborne said, why don't you get another dog, another breed? I said, no, that's the best dog for hunting, for companionship, and so forth and so on.
When Ranger got out, did Duchess
I'm
get...
sorry?
I'm sorry, when Ranger got out, did Duchess get out too?
Duchess, she was too small then. But now, I saw her the other day, she climbed the fence and got out, chasing another dog. So I have to build higher fences.
Okay. And do you think that the higher fences will also prevent the deer and the elk from destroying
That'll
them?
prevent, well, the deer and the elk, if they're hungry, they're gonna break through. You know,
Okay.
but I will build bigger, I will build higher fences, and it takes time to do that. I can't, I'm disabled, okay? I don't have, I'm on a fixed income, I'm on a debt relief program, I have tons of assets. My house just got appraised for $1.2 million. I'm not gonna sell my assets to do something like that, I shouldn't have to. So I will, I don't want him out in the neighborhood. It's not my goal. My goal is to keep him home. And to keep him alive.
So after the declaration was made, August 14th, when the declaration was made that he was a
Right.
dangerous dog,
Right.
what steps did you take to make sure that he wouldn't get out again?
I put the fences back up,
Okay.
and the elk and deer keep breaking them down. Okay? The only way to keep them out of, you have to see a picture of my place, but the only way to keep them from the elk and the deer getting in is to build higher fences like around my my organic fruit and vegetable garden. It's 8 foot high with strung wire. They can't bust through that. But over there, I just had a little fence to keep the dog from getting out. But boom, he jumped over the fence, I guess. No, he didn't. Duchess did the other day. She jumped over the fence, climbed right over my fence in the front. The front yard is about 4 or 5 feet, and a dog came by and she climbed right over to get it. So I have to build higher and taller fences. It's going to take me some time. Can't do it overnight.
Okay. What is your solution in that interim period? If you were to get your dog back, then what would you do to make sure the dog didn't get out?
I'll keep him in the kennel, or I'll keep him in the house, or I'll tie him up. I tie him on the deck. That's what I used to do. Tie him on the deck so he could get some fresh air and sunshine. And then I put a leash on him and wrap it around my arm so he can't get away from me. And I carry a stick, like I walked in here with, to spank him. And he'll obey.
Okay.
Bill, questions?
Yeah, you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay. One thing, I mean, it's very clear what you can do to take care of this is confinement, leash and muzzle, signs,
I see that.
insurance, but you haven't done any of that.
My wife won't let me do that.
Well, I'm sorry, inspection of premises, identification, and notification. And you haven't done any of those things.
How I went and tried to get my dog, his ear tattooed. Who's gonna tattoo a dog's ear? You tell me.
That's not my business to find a dog tattooer for you.
That's part of your rules that you've got there.
No.
Yes, it is.
That's not the way it works. Also,
Oh, yes, it is the way it works.
I'm-
Sir, please, let him finish.
let me finish. The other thing is, I'm a dog lover. I've owned German Shorthairs. I'm a hunter. I'm a disabled vet. I have a service dog. So that's no reason not to obey the law. Okay? The other thing is, it's very important that dog owners take responsibility for what their animals do. And
I do.
My fear is that a child.
That's your opinion.
That's
That's
what-
your opinion.
Excuse me, sir.
All right, I'm sorry. Well,
You done?
no, I'm not done.
Okay, Bill.
My concern is that your dog Ranger is going to kill somebody or severely injure a child. And public safety is my business.
That's fine. He doesn't, I have 62 grandkids. He doesn't go after people. He's never, the only reason he bit that lady is because she stuck her hand in between the dog and the cat. So you destroy my dog, I'm going hunting.
What does that
For-
mean? For what?
Take it for what you think it means.
Is that a threat?
No, it's a fact.
About what?
It's a fact.
Explain.
It's fact.
Explain. You're afraid to.
I'm done talking.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm not afraid of you.
Sir?
You are.
Sir, if I shut this down, your dog will be euthanized.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you for the last time, knock it off. You had your chance to speak. We'll give you another chance to speak.
I'm done.
Okay. Bill, proceed.
You also got a number of calls from the county, which you refused to return or even answer.
You know why?
When the,
You don't. You
I
want to
don't
know
care
why?
to know why, I'm
He
just
doesn't. Know, he doesn't care.
Sir,
That's
please.
bullshit.
also, when the reporter called, you answered the first time the phone rang.
Do you want to? Do you want to know why?
No, I don't.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Sir, wait a
because
minute.
I've got Verizon Wireless that doesn't work. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that's why I can't answer the calls.
And you didn't answer any of these previous requests for information or compliance?
I never
Then
got
you-
the reason, I never got the
The certified
I never
letter.
got it.
Yeah, and then on 10/8, you claimed your dog was a service dog.
He's not, I said, that's a mistake.
Okay.
He's not a service dog. He's an emotional support dog. And my psychiatrist can verify that.
Okay.
I don't know where to go with this.
Are you done
Uh,
for now?
I think there are no bad dogs. I think there are bad dog owners.
Okay. It's all right. You done?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that I have any, has the dog ever been kenneled? Do you
Yes.
currently have a kennel?
Yeah, I have a kennel.
Is it an outdoor kennel?
Yes, it's outdoor and indoor.
Okay.
It's on the outside and it goes into my garage.
In the garage, okay. So when the deer and the elk break through, they're not able to break through into Ranger's kennel, are they?
No, they break into the yard.
They break into the yard, okay. So when they broke into the yard, I guess the question that I have is why was he not in his kennel at that time? In other words, you had him free in the yard, is that correct? He was in the yard.
He was in the yard, yes.
Okay, but not in his kennel.
Correct.
Okay. Is the kennel big? Does he have enough room to run?
No,
Okay.
he needs a tether from the house to the front of the front 200 feet. I can put him on that,
Okay.
and I will do that.
Okay. What we'll do now at this point, since we've asked you questions, I'm going to turn it over to, ma'am, would you like to speak?
Yes, I would.
Name and address, please.
My name is Lauren Hayden, Hayden. My address is 2500 East Harrison Avenue, Coeur d'Alene 83814. I live approximately 1 block from the Duraki home,
Okay.
and I'm very familiar with Ranger.
Okay.
On the evening of May 31st of this year, I was downstairs in the family room of my home, and seated beside me was my cat, who was exclusively an indoor cat. Because it was a sunny, warm afternoon, there was no lightning, there was no thunder. I had the glass door open and the screen door shut to my family room. The cat and I were watching a movie. Ranger appeared at my back door. I thought I recognized him. This is not my first encounter with Ranger. I have called Robert Duraki at least once, maybe twice, to come get the dog from my property in the past. I went outside to look on the collar to see if I could get a phone number, and the tag on the collar was loose. All I got to see was a 509 area code. At that point, Ranger saw my cat through the screen door and started snarling and barking. I told Ranger, "Bad dog, sit," and he took off behind me, running west around the corner of my house. I had closed the screen door and was standing there when Ranger came back around from the same direction behind me, charged through the screen door, grabbed my cat, dragged him 29 feet into my house, and killed him. And as I was standing there, now inside the house, screaming to get the dog off my cat, I reached with my right hand to the collar, dragged the dog back, and he bit me on the left hand. There was blood everywhere. The dog ran back out through the hole that he had left in the screen door, took off. I ran to get my cat, grabbed him, put him in his carrier, and took off for the vet emergency clinic because it was after hours. We arrived at the vet emergency clinic. The cat was pronounced dead. At that point, I had a kitchen towel wrapped around my hand, got rid of the towel. The vet techs were kind enough to wrap my hand, and I went from there to urgent care on Ironwood, received 2 sutures in my left hand, a tetanus booster, a round of antibiotics, and then 2 weeks later had to have yet another round of antibiotics. I had the screen door subsequently repaired. I cleaned up the blood from my house, but I will never be able to replace my companion cat. He had been with me, he adopted me back in 2008. So he was a member of my family. I'm a dog lover too. But this behavior in allowing this dog to run free is absolutely unacceptable. On approximately August the 5th, Ranger was loose again. I went outside and called him. He came to me. I put a leash on him, put him in my garage until animal control could arrive to pick him up yet again. This is an ongoing problem. And I agree with Mr. Brooks. There are no bad dogs. There are only bad dog owners.
A question, if
I
I
got
may,
it.
if I may. The second time, when you were able to attach the leash,
Yes.
was Ranger aggressive, or was he essentially submissive as you attached the leash?
He was not aggressive at all.
He came
Because-
with you with no problem.
Oh,
Because the cat wasn't there.
there was, no one else was there.
What was
And
it?
he
What was
came
it?
directly to me,
What was the name of your cat?
the doorman.
Okay. Anyway.
Sorry.
But keep going, I'm sorry, did you finish?
Yes, I have
Okay.
been.
I'm gonna let the commissioners, if they have any questions of you, and then Mr. Duraki.
I
I'll
need
let
to
you-
ask her a question.
Yeah, okay, well, all right, why don't you go first, go right ahead.
Why didn't you sue me and get compensation?
It's early days. The statute of limitations has not run.
I couldn't hear.
The statute of limitations has not run.
The second limitation.
No, the statute
Statute.
of limitations. You're still within a period where Ms. Hayden can sue.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
I guess what she's saying is,
I'm asking
it's
why.
still on the table.
Okay, still on tape. Got it.
Okay. Questions for Ms. Hayden from the board?
No, I was gonna, excuse me, I was just gonna ask if you had been reimbursed for your screen door, your medical, excuse me, or your cat bill. And-
I have not, I've put together the damages, turned that over to the prosecutor's office. I do not know where that is in the process at this point, but obviously there's another civil remedy available.
Okay. Bill, questions? Sandy, would you like to weigh in?
Well, I don't have a prepared statement.
That's
I was
okay.
prepared to answer questions.
Okay.
So, I guess all I would say is that there has been a long history of this dog running loose, regardless of the number of citations or warnings that have been given to Mr. Track. And, I've spoken to 3 different victims, whose cats were attacked. And all 3 of them have stated that the dog had been loose multiple times before, and they just didn't report it to law enforcement. And so my feeling is what I am aware of is underreported, so I don't know everything. But I do believe the dog is dangerous for other small animals, whether it be cats or probably any animal that will run from it. And my understanding is deer have been involved.
Yeah, he mortally wounded a deer here.
A fawn.
Okay.
Well, it was a big fawn. It wasn't, it was,
Okay, a fawn.
oh, it was a fawn.
So,
But, and so I had to go out and I had to finish it off with a shotgun.
so, you know, my statement is
But it was in
that
my yard.
the dog will likely chase after other small animals if they run, and it's, you know, in its nature to do that.
How
because of the
many-
way it was apparently trained, or just that particular dog.
A question for you, and I refer to you by your first name, but it's Deputy Osborne for the record, okay?
That's fine.
How many citations and/or warnings have you issued to Mr. Duraki?
2 citations for permitting a dog to chase or injure another domestic animal, and 2 citations for dog at large. And I believe there's been at least 2 warnings, possibly more. I'm not the only animal control officer, so.
And I have one more question. And as far as any attacks on people, we have the one with Ms. Hayden. Have there been any others?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Go right ahead, sir.
Do you remember the night that this happened? There was a thunderstorm. There was lightning. That's why the dog took off, okay?
I was not there, sir. It was a different officer who responded to that.
Oh, okay. Well, you can look up the weather report for that night, okay? But you showed up at my house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I believe it was you. And I was, or 3 sheriffs showed up. I don't remember who they were. Woke me up. I was on the couch and said my dog is in jail or something. And and then what happened was he came back. This happened. I'm sorry he bit this Mrs. or Miss whatever her last name is. I don't want him to go out and bite people and kill people. He's not going to do that. He's going to kill other cats. And that is the nature of the breed. If you look up the nature of the breed, that's what they're bred for, is hunting and killing game. And it says in that, this is, I Googled it, or went to the library, Googled it. It says, farmer beware. Keep your animals in, because this dog, this breed, is going to do that. So, I plead for my dog's life. I want him home. I don't want him destroyed, but that's your decision, not mine.
Are you willing to move out of Kootenai County in order to keep your dog?
Why would I want to move out of Kootenai County?
I'm just asking the question.
I'm asking you why.
Because
Why would I want to move out of Kootenai County? Give me a reason.
because already there is a pattern here that shows that the dog continues to get out.
I'm not leaving Kootenai County. I'm not leaving my house.
Okay. Thank you.
So, just to finish
Go
what
right
I was
ahead,
saying
please.
is, so there's a pattern of the dog, attacking, chasing other animals, killing, whatever, okay? Other than the one incident where it did bite Ms. Hayden, I'm not aware of it going after any, injuring any other people. So, my opinion would be that there's the possibility, if the dog is not allowed to be returned to his current owner, would be to possibly rehome him to another more responsible owner who would keep the dog confined properly and muzzled when and on a proper leash and whatnot. So it's a potential, instead of destroying the dog, because I have not seen that he is a dangerous dog to humans.
There's the muzzle.
At that point, I don't know of that. So that would be something to consider. So as far as destroying, I don't know that that's mandatory. Per statute, I don't believe it is. However, I have not seen the responsibility of following through with the requirements from Mr. Draft.
Okay, any other, yes, sir, go right ahead, this will be the last one.
If you destroy my dog,
Yes, sir.
that's gonna cause me emotional distress, extreme emotional distress. It's like you killing one of my kids. That dog is my life. And he loves me, and I love him, and same with Duchess. She's about this big, about that tall. And if you do that, you're gonna have another lawsuit.
Okay, I have a couple questions for you, if I may. How long have you owned Duchess?
I got her approximately, May 1st is when she was born. Or no, she was born in April, and I picked her up May 1st. So she's just a ball of love. She's about this big, about that big. She's going in for her next set of rabies shots at my vet. What's his name? Animal Care Center, Dr.
Roscoe? On 4th Street?
On 4th Street, yeah.
Dr.
She's-
Roscoe.
Yeah, Dr. Roscoe. And Dr. Roscoe just loves her. He thinks she's a great dog. He loves Ranger. My first dog was, that's why I got Ranger. Red was my, his back was this high.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we have another meeting coming up, so I just have a couple more questions.
All right,
How long have you owned Ranger?
10 plus years,
Oh, so he's over 10 years old.
yeah.
Okay,
I got him when he was a year and a half from that 509 number. She's a dog trainer in Spokane.
okay. You mentioned earlier, if I heard you correctly, that Ranger was not current with his rabies, is that correct?
He did, yeah, that's correct. He wasn't current. I didn't realize it. So they had to quarantine him for 15 days, which they did. I had to pay for that.
Okay, okay.
And then he got his shots. And so now he's current rabies shots.
Okay. And this is a question for Deputy Osborne. Did any of these attacks and/or complaints occur before May 1st, which is when Mr. Duraki purchased Duchess? Do any of these events go before May 1st?
Before May 1st of this year,
Yes, ma'am.
I think at least one,
yes,
because
there
there's
was
an 18.
one.
Oh, there's an
One.
18 there, okay.
Yeah, there was one in
Thank you.
April of 2018. And then everything else that I have record of was after May of this year.
Okay, the one in April of 18, what was the nature of it, do you know?
The dog, Ranger was running at large and it went into a victim's property on Johnson Road and attacked a cat, but it was not killed. The victim managed to scare the dog away at that time, but it did go onto her property and attack her cat.
Okay, understood, all right.
And
So,
also, one other thing.
yeah, go right ahead, this will be the
Mr.
final.
Filos. There's a lady that lives right down the street from me, on the corner, and she feeds,
The deer?
no, she feeds, what do they call, cats,
Oh, for
wild
cats?
cats. She feeds them,
Feral cats.
feral cats, yeah.
Okay.
She lives right down on the corner, and she has about 20 or 30 of them. Ranger went down there one day and grabbed one, and I was able to stop him from killing the cat.
Okay.
So that's why he's killed 4.5 cats.
Okay. All right, at this point, I'm gonna end public testimony.
I just have one more question.
Yeah, go right
for
ahead,
Mr.
please.
If it is agreeable, would you allow him to be rehomed into a more suitable family location that he wouldn't be
Sure.
allowed to
Sure.
have access to cats and
Sure, if I could
If it's-
visit them.
that? I don't.
Okay.
that would be up to the
Okay,
new
no,
owner,
okay, I
so.
can do that. I can do that. To keep them from getting executed, yes.
I do have one last statement.
Yes, please.
I realize this does not have to do with Ranger per se, but it goes to show a pattern and a totality of the reason why the dog was even declared dangerous in the first place. And there is, your previous dog, Red, that he brought up earlier, had also attacked other animals. There was a woman whose dog was attacked by Red
I didn't know that.
and seriously injured, and this was back in 13, so it was a while ago, but it was before Ranger came along. And the victim witnessed his dog, Red, multiple times chasing deer and turkeys, and the dog attacked her small dog while she was walking it down the road. And grabbed it by its head, picked it up, shook it until she was able to kick the dog and get it to run away. Her dog was seriously injured but did not die.
Okay.
She was
Now,
we-
Red was adopted out. He didn't get euthanized.
Okay.
My vet found somebody, he's still alive today. He's got a problem, that's why we had to get rid of him. I spent $1,500. He would shake his ear and hit the wall, or a hematoma, and then he would throw blood around the house. So I gave him to Dr. Roscoe, and he adopted him out, he's still
Adopted him
alive
out.
today.
Okay, great. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, so at this point, I'll entertain a motion to end public testimony and enter into deliberations.
Sure, I move we end public testimony and enter into deliberations.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
So
Chairman
what's
Philios.
Aye.
the outcome?
Okay,
They're
Okay.
deliberating.
so I'll explain. Okay, so at this point, the three of us deliberate and either make a decision or continue, which means we make a decision at a later point. My guess is we'll likely be making a decision today, if one or more of my co-commissioners agree. That decision then becomes the order of what is to happen.
And how are you gonna let me know?
But you're gonna
Right
know
now.
right as soon as we conclude today.
Oh, you're gonna make the decision
Yeah, we're gonna
now?
make, right, and this discussion now is only among the three of us.
Okay.
Nobody else participates.
All right,
You did
okay.
that in public testimony. Okay, thoughts? Go right ahead, whoever wishes.
My thought is I'm completely against returning the dog to the neighborhood. I think that he's proven,
What's your decision?
not my decision, I'm just saying that my belief is the dog should not be returned to the neighborhood. So if,
Okay,
I'm open to hearing arguments for adopting him out to another home that would be suitable, knowing that the dangerous dog designation goes with him, and that they will have to comply with the signs, with the kennel, with the muzzle and all
Okay.
that. But otherwise, I would not be in favor of granting the appeal.
Bill, thoughts?
I agree completely. One of the things that it sounds like is this dog has an developed sense of prey pursuit. And if it runs, it dies if he has a chance. Sometimes, as with the cat, it just has to be there. I don't know what you were supposed to do. Watch your cat rip the shreds in front of you in your house. At least you tried to save the cat. My fear is a toddler zooming along in a neighborhood runs away and they're prey. And a dog like that is very likely to take that toddler and rip it and shake it until it's severely
That's your
injured.
opinion.
That's
Sir,
my
please.
opinion.
No, you've already
Or
expressed your.
dead. And that's not acceptable. I'm sorry. I love dogs. This is a shame.
he is around
Okay,
62.
sir.
Sir, no.
No.
Okay,
I'm sorry, okay?
I'm sorry, okay.
Go ahead, Bill, finish.
This is a shame that a good dog has gone bad, and it's the responsibility of the bad owner. That's all I have to say.
So what is your leaning?
My leaning is to unfortunately euthanize the dog.
Okay.
Because if he goes someplace else, is there a guarantee he won't hurt
sorry,
somebody
sir.
else?
Your time's.
There's no guarantee, and hopefully the second puppy that you've got, which is ridiculous to be buying another dog, will be taken care of better than what you did with the first one, because you're the cause of that dog's death. You are.
You are.
Well,
You're
Sir,
the father.
Stop.
sir. If we have to stop this, the dog will be euthanized.
All right, okay.
Please, okay? You've had your chance. All right. You're done?
I'm done.
Okay, so I
I'm
guess.
sad, but I'm done.
I guess it's my turn. I'm kind of torn in between the two, but I'll share my experiences. I have had going on, let me see, 89, yeah, would that be 30 years? 40 years? 89, no.
Range.
I'm going on 40 years with Dobermans. I have had 6. And every one that we have raised, or at least adopted at a young age, has been nothing but a joy. I have never had one even show teeth to a person. When pushed, and I mean genuinely pushed by another dog, they don't know what hit them. But that has been very, very rare. I have had 2 occasions where I adopted a dog. One of them had been, this was almost 20 years ago, had been roaming with a pack down in the Salt Lake area. My wife brought him home. When we'd walk him and he'd see a deer, he'd be up on his hind legs. Went to 2 vets, tried sedation, it didn't work, went to the second vet. He said, "Do you really want to try to tame this breed?" I said, "No," we put him down. Perfectly healthy animal, we put him down. The second occasion was 3 years ago. I adopted one that was 14 months old from Sandpoint. Had been in 2 or 3 homes, so the history is vague. So what happened is we brought her home. She wasn't very big. And we have a mini Australian Shepherd who at the time was 3 years old. I'm at my desk doing work. She grabs the Shepherd, shakes him like a rag doll. We put her in her kennel. Thought, okay, maybe this is an unusual situation. It happened 4 weeks later again, just very, very spontaneous. I said, that's it, right? Put her in the car, took her up to Panhandle Health, asked that she be rehomed with the stipulation she had to be the only dog, okay? I had a third situation, actually, with a border collie that we adopted at 9 years old from Kootenai Humane. And it was during that severe winter back in 08, 09. The dog is outside. I'm calling him. His name was Tucker. He wouldn't respond. I reach for his collar. He turns and bites. I said, that's it. You can bite me, but you're not going to get another chance. Next day, to the vet, catheters in his leg. The vet says to me, what happened? I explained the situation. He said, that's classic dementia. He prescribed a certain version of science diet, never occurred again. So he got another chance. So the point is, I think among the 3 of us, you're seeing some measure of both compassion, but at the same time, responsibility. What I'm in favor of is I don't have a problem rehoming the dog, but I want a time limit. If the dog is not rehomed within 15 days, it has to be euthanized. At this point, there is a pattern to Deputy Osborne's earlier point, and I'm only willing to go that far. 15 days, no rehome, euthanized. And so we'd have to stipulate a date and time. I'm a little disturbed that as well as Mr. Duraki knows this breed, he went and got another member of the breed. And again, I don't know German short-haired pointers. I'm not a hunter. I would never own a hunting breed for that reason. But that's a little concerning to me, but I do want to give the benefit of the doubt to the animal. So for me, 15 days, if it doesn't occur, euthanize. Does anyone agree with me?
Bill brings up some really good points. I mean, I'm concerned that even with the dangerous dog designation, that this new family, I don't understand how the rehoming would work unless the full history is given and that they sign an understanding that they know what's going on.
Good point.
So,
The vicious dog designation should go with the dog.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way I would agree with it rehomed. So,
Are you okay with the time limit?
I am. I just want to make sure that the dog does not return home. It stays in custody until the rehoming occurs. that somebody fills that out, and if there's any incidents that they understand that the dog, you know, probably is not oh gosh, I don't know what the word I'm saying. This is difficult.
Attacks again? or-
Yeah, I mean, if the dog attacks again, he needs to be put down. I mean, that's just, so I'm not sure how much we can put that into the motion.
Yeah, put it all on the record,
Put it on the record?
everything you said.
Okay.
Yep. It can be a speaking motion.
Okay.
Okay. So I move that we allow the rehoming of Ranger within the next 15 days. If that does not occur, the dog will be destroyed. The new rehome must sign the dangerous dog notification agreement, whatever the animal control can put forth, with the understanding that if the dog attacks again, that the dog will need to be euthanized.
And the sheriff's office is responsible for the rehoming, and the dog will not be returned to the current owner.
And the sheriff's office is responsible for the rehoming, and that the dog will not be returned to the current owner.
Is there a second? I will second.
Bill Brooks,
Nay.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion is carried. The dog is to be rehomed with a 15-day expiration period, upon which, if it doesn't occur, the dog will be euthanized, and the appropriate notification will go with the dog to identify its dangerous nature.
Question, can that be appealed?
No. No.
Okay, just want to be clear about that.
So at this point, the time is 10:50 a.m. Public comment? One more,
From the
go ahead.
public,
Yes, sir.
why did you deny me freedom of speech?
Sir, he didn't.
This is freedom of speech. You're denying me my right to speak. That's against the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, and I'm mad at you. End the story. I'm out of here.
Okay, so it's now 10:51, meeting adjourned.